What's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking the new Luffy and Lucci into some PvP, seeing how they rock, see how they roll, over on the Shooter team. Shooter's just been getting buffs, man. The Shooter team has been a sleeper team for a very long time. It's kind of just needed a few pieces of the puzzle to get it rolling, but now it's got some really powerful units on the bench. We're rocking Kid, we're rocking Kuma, we're rocking Akainu 6+, level limit broken at level 5 or level 4 for Kuma, makes them very strong. But with the addition of this Luffy and Lucci, it unlocks the passives of two particular characters on the Shooter team. We have the Treasure Map Frankie, needing a Straw Hat on the team, and then we have Ace, who either needs Whitebeard or Luffy. Now, in hindsight, I would have Usopp and Lilith on this team in a heartbeat. This team can get better. That is the scary part. The fact that this team can get better is crazy. With Usopp Lilith instead of Ace, you can get some little Nami Karina-based strats where you're rolling back specials, you're doing some crazy stuff with their super special and stuff like that. But myself, I don't have Usopp Lilith as of right now. Eventually I'll pick them up on a ticket or a banner later down the line, but for now I'm going to rock Ace because, like I said, I did really want to showcase the power of Ace when you have a Luffy on the team, just getting a bit more shield, doing some damage. And Luffy and Lucci are just a fantastic addition to this team, man. Like, they do some wonderful things. Their passive is incredibly strong, giving attack, defense, and speed up level 7. For the first 20 seconds of battle, shooters get level 5 CD reduction. Now, it's only for 20 seconds, and you might be thinking, like, this is not crazy or anything like that, but when you have a character like Rise of Shinobu who gives level 5 CD reduction on their special, it basically allows you to keep this level 5 up at all times. The 20 second goes away, Rise of Shinobu goes within that sort of 20 second range, and all of a sudden you're getting that 5 back, and then you're just continuously rolling it over with the Rise of Shinobu special, so it's very strong. Their Rumble special is based around taking on Esper. Now, in today's video, I am taking on one Esper fight. It's not the actual Esper fight like I did yesterday with Zoro and Kaku and Luffy and Lucci, but we will be taking on the Suru challenge, which has Esper over there. Target Shooter class teammates for a level 6 attacker. One Psi type powerhouse enemy takes 8,000 damage, and then 2 enemies with low HP take 1.4 damage that bypasses defensive effects. They also have a Rumble super special at level limit break 1 all the way up to level 4. It goes to 2... No, it doesn't. Is it? Yeah, it does. It targets 2 Psi powerhouse class enemies for 10,000 damage. Now, you're not going to see this all that much. Like, Psi characters, honestly, they suck right now. Like, the Psi team is just so bad. It can clutch out some wins here and there, but it's really struggling. And this particular targets 2 Psi type powerhouse class teammate enemies is purely just for Esper, because obviously they fight Esper. Targets 2 enemies with low HP for defense, ignoring defense for attack of 1.6 times, and then targets Shooter class teammates attack and defense level 7, which is massive. If you guys get to level 5, the damage is on 3 enemies, and it goes up to level 8, which is pretty strong. But look, I don't expect anyone to be getting these characters to level limit break 5 on release, because they're not like Roger Relegabon. But taking 2 specials is incredible. It's way better than 3. Honestly, it seems like it's not that much difference, but it is a massive difference. So we're gonna take some challenge fights. Let's see how they go. If you enjoy the video, bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive in. All right, so the first fight is against the Dex Powerhouse build. This particular team is starting to fall off. Like, this was a really hard fight when it first came out. People say Pell was harder at the time, and I would probably agree, just because, like, Pell took so long for me to beat, but this was definitely up there as one of the harder PvP fights, and it's still very tanky, still very strong. The fact that we could take it down is actually pretty impressive. So it's rocking a disgusting lineup of Sanjian and Wolf, like Kaido with his massive stats, Pizarro's incredibly strong, and then you've got Roger with his HP cuts and Blackbeard with the HP cuts too, and then you just have that disgusting bench of Pell, Big Mom, and S-Snake. Now, Powerhouse obviously has evolved since this particular team. Like, we have Big Mom Katakuri, we have Kaido and King. Pell in the front is usually a really good play. You have other very good powerful characters you can run, like in a driven Powerhouse sort of setup where you run like cross-skilled and stuff too. So I thought I'm just going to take on these fights just because I already did my PvP fights with Zoro and Kaku, which I'll have a video out for them a little bit later. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to check that out. But I thought I would just sort of dive in while I have some time today to actually play the game. So taking on, like I said, taking on the Dex fight first. We'll see how we go here. Luffy and Lucci are going to go crazy here. Massive damage. Remember, this is 1.4 times attack that bypasses defense. So very strong, and they do it twice. So like the higher your stats your character has, so more tomes, more tablets, more cotton candy, means that this character is going to be hitting harder. Remember, everything goes into PvP stats except for support levels. So, and obviously it's a dual character, so they don't have a support level anyway. But anything that you can give the character, like extra sockets, like I said, cotton candy, special levels, and potential abilities, is going to make this character much stronger. So just be very, very mindful of that when you're building the team. Funny enough, we are using Esper on this team as well. Esper is fantastic for shooter teams. The forced out mechanic is just incredibly broken. It allows you to sort of take on 4 units instead of 5, and basically removes their passive for a little bit. And you'll see how powerful the forced out mechanic is in the last fight when we take on the strength fight. Because if you can just keep binking one character that's incredibly vital for the team, it's just over. It's just over. As I mentioned, Ace and Frankie on this team are fantastic because they both need a Luffy or some sort of Straw Hat on the crew. Again, if you have Usopp Lilith, like, that's not going to be a problem. But for myself, not having Usopp Lilith and then bringing Ace in their spot, it just kind of worked. You can run other characters like Uta. Fujikizaru is probably a pretty good shout still for the shooter team, as long as they're not an int character, so that way you don't lose the Esper passive. Like the sword unit would be amazing, but obviously then you would lose Esper, which is a massive problem. I think running Esper over the sword is just going to be much better for your offensive-based teams. But like I said, Fujikizaru are pretty good because they're a dual unit. Hell, you could probably, like, if you aren't running, what's it called? If you aren't running Usopp Lilith, you just put Usopp Lilith there. You could run the new Zoro and Kaku as well. They're actually a shooter booster as well. I find that they're not, like, a staple on the shooter team. Like, they definitely can work, don't get me wrong, and they're going to work great when you go up against, like, int slashers because they want to take on S-Hawk. But I feel like the slasher team sort of works with them a little bit better, but then they have to compete with, like, Zoro Sanji, so there's also that. So this is where we take on Esper. I wanted to really get some footage of versing a powerhouse side character. Now, off the top of my dome, I don't really know any other side powerhouse characters, so if you guys can think of any in the comment section below, please feel free to let me know, because taking on side teams could be very interesting, but like I said, you really want to be targeting side powerhouse units, and besides Esper, the only one that I can possibly think of is maybe Garp, but I think Garp might be Free Spirit Fighter. I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I used Garp once, and then he's just basically just been chilling in my box, man. Like, he's just such a underwhelming unit, bro. Very, very sad, but he might be powerhouse. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section below. If you guys can think of any other powerhouse side characters that have some sort of staple within the possible meta, then let me know down there below too. Like Saul, I know he's fighter cerebral. Enel's obviously driven. Shanks is like Free Spirit cerebral. The Free Spirit comp, obviously, with like Odin, Yamato, and Luffy, like, they're all not powerhouse, so it's a bit of a weird one. Maybe in the future we'll get some more side powerhouse units, and that particular ability of Luffy and Lucci will evolve. For now, like, if you find Esper and you use this team, like, you're going to do something like this, and it's just like, all right, cool, here have a free 8,000 damage, which will usually make them the weaker unit, and then they'll take that extra shot from the 1.4 that bypasses defense. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to be killing Esper in that situation, which is hilarious. So when you are running this particular build with your Esper on the team, your Esper has a really, really low cooldown, so Esper is also immune to forced out, so not having like an insane amount of cooldown reduction like this particular shooter team does means that their Esper tries to force out our Esper, which doesn't work, and then when our Esper goes, Esper's special isn't max, so he's not actually targeting that Esper, and the whole Esper chain gets broken and you actually come out on top, which is absolutely hilarious. But once again, Esper's forced out is just, it's so damn strong, man. It's so good. But Luffy and Lucci providing so much damage on top of the damage that Frankie's giving. All the defensive buffs, man. Like, look how 31 defense is crazy. And Raizo Shinobu just in the middle there, tanking shots, eating hits, giving defense, providing action bind, which is so clutch because not a lot of characters are immune to action bind nowadays, and they have a 100% chance to action bind, provided they hit enemies within that certain range. Depending on what the field looks like, obviously, like, they can scatter the team. Which can be a little bit of a problem for the character, but 9 times out of 10 you'll be looking at probably hitting at least 3, sometimes 4, possibly even the whole team, if the character does persist it. On top of that, they are doing quite a lot of damage too. Alright, so we're going to finish it off with the strength fight. This one was an absolute sleeper. It's a crazy hard fight. I did take on the slasher fight already yesterday in the Verse Seraphim video. I did post a screenshot where my bench actually came clutch, and the bench is just so fantastic on this particular team because we have 2 strength characters in the front being Ace and Raizo Shinobu, and then Kuma and Akainu are boosting the primary colors. So if you get Akainu coming in, he's going to be buffing Frankie, Ryza, Shinobu, and Ace. But realistically, you want him coming in buffing Kid and Kuma, who were in front of him on the bench. Now, Kid did get a buff for PvP. They decreased his passive, so he doesn't have to wait that long. It's only like, I think it's within the last 60 seconds now. It used to be in the last 40 seconds. I still find him best off the bench, man. Like, Kid just, yeah, he just ain't there for me, you know. He's a great option to come in off the bench and just do big damage later down the line, because the lower the timer is at, the more times he hits, the more damage he does. And I just don't think he really has a place in the front line, to be honest. And then when you partner him up with Kuma and Akainu with the damage they can do at the back end of a fight, rocking a full strength kind of setup just works so damn nicely. Now, this is where you'll see the power of Esper and how vital it is getting that forced out mechanic on a character that is super valuable. On top of that, Ryza Shinobu getting that action binding off is fantastic. And the reason that they go so fast is thanks to Luffy and Lucci's ability to give that level 5 CD reduction. Now that the first 20 seconds is gone, obviously Ryza Shinobu using their special allows us to get back that level 5 CD reduction. And we're going to hang on to that for a little while, and then once we get our specials back up and rocking, we can go again. Massive defense for this team, 26 to 30 defense is absolutely ridiculous. Really, really nice stuff. And then once you have Esper going with his forced out mechanic, like allowing the enemy to just sort of lose passives, is just so nice. Now, we actually took out Strength Luffy really, really fast. And I did run this, I got very close to beating it the first time, and then I ran it again, and we absolutely clapped it. And both times, we killed Strength Luffy first. Strength Luffy was the first character to die in both runs. So the way the team kind of operates, it does seem to target Luffy for some reason. Just the way that the damage output of Luffy and Lucci just went, hey, I'm gonna hit you. So that was actually really, really cool. Plus, then we actually managed to take out Uta on this run. Uta was a massive problem for the first run. She just healed everyone back up, and then obviously I just couldn't take them down. But with Uta and Luffy now out of the question, we don't have to deal with damage, we don't have to deal with shenanigans, and basically they can't heal back up. On top of that, Esper and the way his cooldown works, and then the 5 CD reduction that we're getting from Ryza Shinobu meant that he just kept using his special, and every single time he just kept, with a bit of luck, he just kept hitting Kobe. He just kept knocking Kobe out of the match, and because of that, we didn't have to worry about the 30% reduction. We didn't have to worry about the haste ability. Allowed our characters to keep putting in damage, keep putting in work, and as you guys can see here, we got down to the last 30 seconds. We had to deal with Ace and Kuma with poor old Kobe still forced out, and once we did that, it was just kind of over for poor Kuma, so we managed to take it out with 25 seconds left and a forced out. So it's going to wrap up the video. Let me know what you guys think of the Shitter team down below. If you guys have this team and you are running Usopp and Lilith, please let me know how it goes down below. I'd love to know, because that unit is absolutely cracked in PvP. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, for you guys on this beautiful world, please don't enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Let's